All right, so for our volume, what is our formula that we're looking at for volume? Jose? Volume equals length times width times height. And one of the reasons that I picked this, because I know a lot of us have, the volume's been pretty easy. Hopefully that formula, we definitely have that like mastered. All right. But the big thing, guys, and like y'all, fortunately, everyone in this class that is here today was here. But my folks at Disney, they didn't have the privilege of having that guidance where y'all got to have stuff checked since y'all were in class and we got all of our grades done in here. So I want to make sure that everyone understands our next step. We have to pick that LW. Before we worry about the height, we've got to pick LW. How do I pick my LW? Who can tell me? How do I pick LW? Addison? Okay, so we're kind of looking for two numbers closest to each other. Why do those two numbers matter? It's not because they're the closest, but why does it matter, Grayson? That's what we're looking for. They have to be on the same rectangle. So I need two numbers that are on the same rectangle. So if I look at, I don't know, 5 and 10, are those two, and maybe I should pick a different color, that might help. If I pick 5 and 10, are those two on the same rectangle? No, so are those two lines that are good to pick? No, we don't want those, all right? So what are two lines that are on the same rectangle? Kamari? 5 and 4. This is the first one I saw, so I have a 5 here and a 4 here. Are those going to be on the same rectangle? Yes, they're on this front rectangle because does my length and width have to be on the bottom? No. All right, Emma? Okay, so you did 10 and 4. So here's my problem with 10 and 4, Emma. That one doesn't really work because I have 4 down here and I have 10 up here. What rectangle are they both on? 4 is going across, 10 is going back. Are those on the same rectangle?
Well, that's not that upper top, that top on the
It does, but does it tell me that that's 4 right now?
No.
No, so what I want y'all to do, and this is going to be important, and I know it seems kind of silly because, guys, the rectangular prism is the easiest one. That's why we do it in the 6th grade. Length times width times height. Technically, that's all you have to know. But then your math teacher is being picky and saying, okay, we need to practice picking a base because next year you're not just going to have rectangles. You're going to have triangular prisms. You're going to have all those different shapes. You're going to have cylinders and stuff like that. So what I want you to do right now, it seems silly, Emma, but I want you to be able to pick a rectangle where those measurements are given to me. Does that make sense? So yes, I know the 4 would match up there at the top, but we're not going to pick that because that measurement was not told to me. We're just going to pick, we got the 5 and the 4. Now there was one other option. And what other option is there? Okay. Anyone see another option, Grayson? We could have done the 5 and the 10. See, 10 is here and 5 is here. Would those have made a rectangle? Yes, they would have made that back rectangle, but we'll stick with the one that we did in red. Okay, so we have our rectangle picked. So we have our 5 times 4. So for my length and width, I'm going to do V equals 5 in parentheses and 4 in parentheses. Guys, a lot of y'all are still not wanting to put the parentheses. I told you that I didn't really care. But if you have a problem with decimals, can you use the dot to show times? Please do not, because a decimal is a dot, and then if you're using a dot for times as well, you just got a whole lot of dots, and it looks very confusing. So please, like parentheses, it's like the safe option. You can use parentheses in algebra. You can use parentheses with decimals. Parentheses is that safest multiplication. So I have 5 times 4. What's the other number I'm missing? What do I need for my height? Ian? 10, because that's just that extra number. So I have 5 times 4 times 10. And then we're going to multiply that out so I get volume equals 200 inches cubed with that 3. Very good. All right, and that's the work that I'm looking for. My shading, my formula, my work, my answer. Awesome job. All right, on number 2. So when I picked number 2, this is going to be on your test. We might see one like it again tomorrow. When we're here tomorrow. Okay. I'm saying we're going to be here tomorrow. Because it would be best for me, all right? We're probably going to see one like this tomorrow, though, because this is on the test, all right? Now, guys, this isn't anything brand new. We know a formula for volume of a rectangular prism. We know how to do a little bit of algebra. So we're going to put those two together. So raise your hand if you can tell me, what's the very first thing that I have to write down? What do I have to write down first? Any ideas? Addison? Perfect. V equals LWH. Because it tells me it's a rectangular prism. It tells me we're talking about formula. Do I have a volume? Do I have a formula for that? It tells me we're talking about a rectangular prism. It tells me we're talking about volume. I got my words mixed up there. And we have a formula. So we're going to write that down. Okay, I have my formula. If you want, you can draw your line here. Why would I draw a line? What tells me, ooh, I need a line? How do I know I need a line, Omar? It's giving me the value of what? What's special here that it tells me the value of? The volume. So when it tells me volume, well, I know that has to go on this side, which is why we need that line. Okay? So I put my volume there. What else does it tell me? What else do I need? Micah?
The length is 9 and the height is 7.
So it says the length is 9, so where L is, I put 9. What am I going to put where W is? What am I going to put there? Just the W. Very good. So I'm going to leave my W. If you want to put parentheses, you can. And then what was our height? 7. All right. Ideas. What do we think we need to do next? What do you want to do next? I'm trying to... No.
I mean, 9 times 7.
Yeah, I like that idea. All right, so Trent said, hey, I've got a 9 and a 7 over here. Guys, does order matter when I multiply? No, so can I put those together? Yeah. 9 times 7 is? 63.
This is what I did wrong. Because that 819 looks like a 4.
Ah.
The G.
It's a 9. All right. So there. Now what do I need to do? So I multiplied the 9 and the 7. What's going to be next? So Trent gave me that. I'm looking for someone new. Sorry, Trent. Come on. Divide. Y'all are getting awesome at this algebra stuff now. All right, so now I'm going to divide. I'm dividing by 63 on both sides. Hopefully this works out. What is 819 divided by 63? What's that going to give me? 819 divided by 63, Micah? 13. So I get 13. Keep my equal sign. What's going to happen to my 63s on top and bottom? What's going to happen to those, Destiny? Yeah, well, it's going to make the 1. They're going to go away, right? And what's left there? My W. All right, so I get 13 equals W. I'm still missing one thing. What am I missing, Cooper? The measurement. What am I going to put next to my 13? Feet. Is it going to be feet to the third? No, because it doesn't say volume. It just says width. Okay? Excellent job. All right. The next thing we need to do, so if you will please put your math workshop, let's put that away. All right, let's update our table of contents. All right, so 16, we did that on Friday. So my folks that were at Disney, these are the 3 worksheets that we did. The polygons was the first one in the stapled packet. Notes and classwork was second. Teacher's choice was third. If you went to Disney, which I think everyone in here was here, but for my people that went to Disney, that teacher's choice worksheet, I need to collect that from you to get a grade on. All right, we're going to add 17 today. 17, we're going to do surface area. Surface area of nets. We're going to talk about what all of those words mean. While you're writing that down, I'm going to pass out our worksheet for us to go over. Yes. And what we'll do is probably work on that for your test today. And I can get that graded. Because they got to do it kind of like a checkpoint. They got to do it until they got them all right. Kiowa, can you turn my feet off? Thank you, sir. Here is Friday's work. All right, so for today, hopefully we have that written down. For today, we're going to be looking at surface area. Now, before we look at surface area, you'll notice there is a front and a back to this. Guys, this entire sheet is notes, front and back. All of it is notes, so we got a lot to do. All right, on the front, those shapes should look familiar, don't they? So what I want you to notice, and I'm going to kind of zoom out a little bit, on the front, so this is the 3D shape. Do y'all agree with that? This is my 3D shape unfolded. All right? When you're looking at these, on this side where you unfold the 3D shape, these are called your nets. So it's called a net when it's unfolded. All right? So a 3D shape that's been flattened out, that's what a net is. So we need to be able to kind of match these up. All right, so you'll notice number one. Number one, what do you think number one would be called? We need the entire name. Collier. It is a pyramid. What type of pyramid? Because number two and number one both kind of look like they're pointy, but there's a little difference. What's the difference, Gabe? Number one is a rectangular pyramid. Okay. Why is it a rectangular pyramid, Gabe? The base is a rectangle. And on a lot of these, that shaded spot is the base, but some of these it might not be. All right, number two. What shape is number two going to be called? What is number two going to be? Omar? A triangular pyramid. Very good. How did you know both of those were pyramids? Seth? They have a point at the top. That top part comes to a tip-top point. What shapes are actually making the point on those? Both of those three-dimensional objects have some flat shapes that make your point. What shapes make the point, Addison? Triangles. So when you're talking about a pyramid, and this is going to be important because in a minute we're going to flatten it out, right? For a pyramid, if it's going to make a point, it has to have a bunch of triangles, okay? All right, number three. What's number three called? A cylinder. Now, we are not going to worry about cylinders in the 6th grade. You will have to do them in the 7th grade, though, so it's really good to be able to name it. All right, number four. Cone. Thank you, Joseph. You raise your hand next time, please. A cone. Again, we won't do those in the 6th grade. You will in the 7th. Number five, Kamari. Sphere. If I could spell it right. Let me try that again. Sphere. There we go. Had my P and my H flipping on me. All right, number six. Don't know how I'm skipping that. Jose? It's a pyramid. What type of pyramid would number 6 be? All right, now remember, a cube is three-dimensional. Is that shape on the bottom 3D? What? A square. You can call it a square pyramid. If you want, a square is just a special rectangle. So could you just call that a rectangular pyramid as well? You could. But we'll say it's a square pyramid because that is supposed to be a square on the bottom. All right, number 7. Now, number 7's skipping down. We're kind of going in a little funky order now here at the bottom. Now, here's number 7. I see some triangles. So is that going to be a pyramid? What's number 7 going to be, Grayson? Triangular prism. Why is this not a pyramid? Triangular prism. Jose? Okay, it has triangles. That's why it's triangular. But why is it a prism? Why is it not a pyramid? Gabe, help me out with that. It doesn't make a point. Is there one little point where everything goes to? No, this is a stretched out triangle. All right, now I do want to point out, Jose said it only has 2 triangles. Does this have a whole lot of triangles on it? No, it would have to have a whole lot to make a point. Because it doesn't have enough triangles, it can't make 1 point, okay? All right, number 8. What's number 8 going to be called? Trent? Rectangular prism. And then what is number 9 going to be called? Ian?
Cube.
A cube. All right. So guys, can someone tell me, so we said a pyramid has a point. Prisms do not have a point. We said pyramids have to have a lot of triangles, right? Prisms, what do you notice they have a lot of? What flat shape do they have a lot of on my prisms? Micah? Rectangles. So like even on the triangular prism, it has 2 triangles, but it has 3 rectangles. So a prism will have more rectangles, a pyramid will have more triangles. And that's going to be really important when we look at these flat ones, all right? So on number 1, what shape would that be that's unfolded? It's been unfolded there. Yes, Ian? A cylinder. All right, and a lot of people, when they look at this one, they're like, how can that be a cylinder if it has a rectangle? Well, guys, do y'all agree this paper is rectangle, isn't it? Well, look at what happens when I wrap it around. Look at what shape I just made. I just made a cylinder, didn't I? Doesn't that make a cylinder? Okay. So that's why we have that rectangle, because what's going to happen is it's going to wrap around and it's going to make a cylinder shape. All right, number 5. What's number 5 going to be? Addison? A cone. All right. Now again, guys, number 1 and number 5 are kind of like number 3 and number 4 on the other side. You will see those in the 7th grade. We're not going to work with them as much here. All right, number 2. What's number 2 going to be, Kamari? A cube. How do you know that's a cube and not just a rectangular prism? All of them are the exact same size. They're all going to be squares. All right, number 6. I know we're kind of going back and forth here. What's number 6 going to be? Jose? A triangular. And he said this is going to be a pyramid. How did I know that was a pyramid? Addison?
Because you can't make that into like a square with a flat top. You have to place a triangle and sew it together and make a point.
Because it has all those triangles. Those triangles have to make a point. There's no way they can make a flat top like what Addison was saying. They have to make a point with a pyramid. All right, what about number 3? What's number 3 going to be? Joseph?
Square pyramid?
A square pyramid. Now, Joseph, how did you know this was going to be a pyramid and not a prism?
Well, because I saw the square and I knew since it would be folded, it would be going up.
Yeah, all these triangles are going to go up to a point, so they're going to have to be a pyramid. Also, again, what shape does it have the most of? Triangles. If it has a lot of triangles, it's a pyramid every time. All right, number 7. What's number 7 going to be? Someone new. Get a lot of same hands. Seth? Rectangular. Prism. Because it has a lot of rectangles, it's obviously rectangular, and the rectangles make the prism shape. All right, number 4. Micah. Triangular. Angular prism. All right, and that has to be a prism because are there enough triangles there to make 1 point? No, those two cannot, they're not going to be able to go together. They're going to have to wrap around with the rectangle, so it's a prism because there aren't enough triangles. All right, what about number 8? What's number 8 going to be? What do you think, Addison? A rectangular pyramid. And guys, again, the easiest way to recognize a pyramid is, does that have a lot of triangles on it? If it's got a lot of triangles, it's a pyramid, okay? All right, let's flip that over. All right, and today we're going to mainly be focusing on surface area. All right, so remember, we talked about area not last week, but the week before, so 2 weeks ago, we had a test on area. Area and volume, what's the difference? What is different about area versus volume? Charlie?
Area is like dealing with two-dimensional shapes.
Mm-hmm.
Triangle is dealing with three-dimensional shapes.
Very good. Area is two-dimensional, which means it's flat. Volume is three-dimensional, which is where you can fill it up and stick your hand in it. The reason that we're talking about the net, now remember over here on the other side, we had said the net is when it is flattened out, right? So if I flatten this out, now I can find the area, even though it's a 3D shape, once I make it flat, now all I'm going to do is actually talk about the flat pieces of the shape, which are also known as the surface of it. So basically what that means is, look, I have a triangular prism right here. So here's my triangular prism. When I'm talking about this triangular prism, we can see it has a bunch of sides, right? I have like some triangles, I have these rectangles, all right? What we want to know is how big is this rectangle, plus this rectangle, plus this rectangle, plus this triangle, plus this triangle, okay? Now, do y'all agree, it's kind of hard to see all those shapes when it's in this form, isn't it? It's hard to see all those rectangles and triangles. But when I flatten it out, like look, example 1, what type of figure is that going to be? It's flattened out, but what do you think that's going to be? Kamari? It's a triangular prism. Triangular prism. And here's the thing, guys. A few years ago, we made our students have to be able to draw these out. Right? Jose, let's not do that right now. Okay. Our students had to draw these out. Right now, guys, I'm going to give you the drawing, but you have to be able to name it, okay? So you're not going to have to draw it, but you do have to be able to name it. Are we okay with that being a triangular prism? All right. So now what I know is, I have 3 rectangles, and I have 2 triangles, and I got to figure out what the area is of all those. I got to figure out my area for all of those different shapes. So, let's pick a shape to start with. What shape do y'all want to start with? Micah? The triangles. Okay, we can start with the triangles. I would have picked the rectangle because the rectangle is typically easier. We'll do the triangle, Micah. All right, so the area of our triangle. And I'm just going to number these 1. Because y'all agree those 2 triangles are the same shape? So I'm going to number them both 1, just so I know, hey, that's my shape 1 that Micah wants to start with. Okay, so shape 1. And I'm going to do area equals, what's my formula for a triangle? We still got to remember that. Joseph? BH divided by 2. So area equals. All right, we need a base and a height for that triangle. Collier, what do you think?
The base would be 2.6.
Okay, why do you think the base is 2.6? Okay, so there is a 2.6 on the triangle, but what line is that pointing to? What is that 2.6 pointing to? Yeah, it's pointing to the right angle. It's pointing to the dotted line, right? And if it's the dotted line, that's usually going to be my height. So my 2.6 is my height, so we still got to think about what's the base going to be here. Trent? What's my base going to be on my triangle? Why is it going to be 3?
Because the 3 on the triangle, right there,
Mm-hmm.
pointing to the line, and both the triangles are the same.
Yeah. So do y'all see how this 3 has a line here? And all the other sides have the exact same line? What does that mean about all those sides? They're all the same. All of these are 3 inches. So the bottom of the triangle is also going to be 3 inches. So I'm going to put 3. And then Collier already pointed out that my base, that 2.6, is that dotted line. So that's telling me how far it is from the bottom to the point, to that tip. So I'm going to do 2.6. And then we're going to divide by 2. So now, guys, I know in the past, guys, I made you, give me your what you multiplied, then divide by 2. Guys, if you want to type that in, we practice that a lot. So do your multiplication, hit enter, then divide by 2. All right, and what do I get for that area, Grayson? What was that, 3.9? 3.9 inches squared. Y'all agree with that? Okay. All right, so now I've got to deal with my rectangle. So my rectangles. All right, I'm going to put a little kind of arrow going to my 1 saying, okay, this is 3.9, and the one at the bottom is also going to be 3.9. Okay, y'all good with that? All right, so now I need to find my rectangles. Now, guys, sometimes your rectangles are going to be different. Sometimes they're all the same. Sometimes 2 might match. We need to figure out what is the base and height. So I know my rectangle formula is A equals base times height. What is the base and height going to be? Addison?
To find the base or height, you have to look at the triangles, and it would be 3 inches because that's the base of that triangle right there.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be either the height or the base of the rectangle.
Okay. So do y'all agree? Y'all see where we have the 3 inches in the middle? Y'all see that? And then I have the 11 inches going up and down. So that's definitely 3 times 11, right? All right. This is what I want to show you guys. Do y'all see right here this rectangle line? And then that triangle line right there that says 3 inches. Do y'all see those on the edge? What that means, guys, is those are going to fold up. And when they fold up, they're going to actually be not equal, but they're going to be together. So let me... Yes, sir.
I thought it would be A equals LW.
We can do A equals LW. I'm sorry. Thank you. Good call. Like, I spent all this time taping these last week, and now I need them. I know. It's not going so well. Okay. Okay, here we go. All right, so here was my triangular prism. Do y'all agree? Triangular prism. Zoom out a little bit. There you go. We said that there was a 3 here on that triangle, right? And we said that when I fold it up, it has to match that rectangle. Do y'all see how when those fold together? Isn't that cool? All right, so that's why I drew that arrow there. So this is also going to be 3 inches. And then over here on the side, it's going to do the same thing. The 3 inches will fold together. So are all of my rectangles going to match? Yes. So we can just label these 2, 2, and 2. So shape 2, A equals BH, or like Collier just told me, hey, that's a rectangle. I can just use A equals LW. I like that one too. So A equals LW is another option. Doesn't matter. All right. So what are the length and width going to be for those rectangles? Raise your hand if you can tell me. Length and width, what are they going to be? Ian? 3 and 11. So 3 times 11. The 11 came from the up and down right here because obviously all of those are going to match. So A equals, what is my area going to be? Gabe? 33 inches squared. So now I have 33, 33, and 33. So what do I need to do to find the surface area? What am I going to have to do? Any ideas? So that's each area by itself. Now what do I need to do, Trent? Add them all together. And I'm going to zoom back in a little bit because I realized I was kind of far out for all that. All right, so I have my 3.9 and 3.9 from the triangles, correct? Then we have, how many 33s? 3. And we're just going to add those up. So we can use our calculator for this. When I add those up, what do we get? Addison. 106.8, what? Inches squared. Why is this going to be squared and not cubed? It's 3-dimensional. Why am I doing squared here? Addison Banks? I'm sorry, Addison Myers?
Because it's not inside the shape, it's on the surface of the shape.
Awesome. It's just the flat surface. It's not inside. It's not filling it up 3D. It's just the flat part. So we're area. Very good. All right. Let's look at the next one. All right. So I like this one because do y'all see those marks on the triangle? If it has those marks around the triangle, what does that mean about my triangle? They're all the same. They're equal going all the way around. So how many different shapes am I actually going to have here? I'm just going to have one shape. Because this triangle in the center equals the one over here, equals the one over here, equals the one over here. So I'm only going to have one shape. Are y'all okay with that? All right, so here's my one shape. What formula do I need for that one shape? Jose? A equals base times height divided by 2. Awesome job. What type of, what is my base and my height going to be? Let's see if anyone can pick that out. Base and height in that order. Ian, what's the base and the height in that order?
5 and 7.2.
Okay, those are the numbers we need, but be careful when you're thinking about your base and your height. Omar, why would it need to be the other way around? All right, how do I know that this 5 cannot be the base? How do I know that shouldn't be first? It's on the dotted line. And what is that dotted line going to be? The height. All right, so we're going to do my 7.2 times 5 divided by 2. Area equals 7.2 times 5 divided by 2. Y'all are the ones with the calculators. What do we get? 7.2 times 5. I think 36 is closer to what I need. 36 sounds good. Guys, type your decimal. Type slowly. Some of y'all are like, divided by 2, thank you, is 18. Sorry, Jose, they were right. We forgot to divide by 2. Good job. Go slowly. Check your teacher. Okay. 18 is what we need because Jose and I forgot to divide by 2. All right. So 18. Now, is that my actual answer?
Yes.
What is my answer to this problem going to be? What do I need to do now? Omar? Yeah, we can add 3 more 18s to it because how many 18s do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. Or you could do 18 times 4. If you want to do 18, 18, and 18 and add them, we can do that. What do I get when I add up my 18s? Micah?
I have a question about the
Oh, yes.
one, but it's 72.
Okay, and what's your question before you keep going?
On number 1, you didn't divide by 2 on the last A equals.
Length times width. Okay, you're right. We did not divide by 2 here because remember this was the rectangle, which is just length times width.
No, I'm talking about the triangle, number 1.
3.9. I think we did because 3 times 2.6 should give me like 7.8 divided by 2 should be 3.9.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. 3.9 plus 1 equals 106.8.
Okay, this is where we did, remember we had 2 triangles. That's my top triangle, that's my bottom triangle. So I actually end up using it twice. Yeah, that's why it looks like we didn't divide. Very good. Thank you, Micah, for asking that question. Make sure we put our millimeters squared since this is area. And guys, I skipped a really important part. What shape was that? That's kind of a big deal. What was it?
Triangular pyramid.
Triangular pyramid. And guys, this is exactly what the back of your test is going to look like on Friday. The front is the volume that we've been doing. The back is the surface area. That's all there is to the test. So guys, I know that tomorrow it's kind of questionable about the weather and what's going to happen. I'm hoping we'll be here. If we're not, is your test still going to be on Friday? Yes, because guys, this is the new thing. This is all we're doing new this week. After today, we're just practicing, all right? If you do not have school, what I'll do is I'll send you a picture. Actually, if we don't have school, let's just worry about that. I'll send something out on Remind about what we're going to do. All right? Ian?
So, if we're out of school.
All right, let's get through the notes, and then we'll talk about that.
If we were had to
Where?
Monday.
No. If we're out of school, no matter what, your test is Friday. Because we're not doing notes tomorrow. We're just practicing. All right? So we're not learning anything new. We're just going to practice this week. The test will not move. It'll be Friday. Okay? All right. Number 3. Before I forget to name it, what type of figure is this one going to be on number 3? Joseph? A square pyramid. Pyramid. My spelling is a little questionable today, guys. All right. How did you know? Well, it looks like we're going to assume it's a square since it gives information. All right. So how many different shapes do I have on this one? How many different shapes do I have here? Ian? two different shapes. I have my square. I'm going to number that number 1. I'm going to pick that one first since it's easy. Are y'all okay with that? All right, so number 1, and then all my triangles would be number 2. All right, so let's do shape 1. I'm going to do it over here on the side. Shape 1. What is my formula for shape 1? Jose? A equals BH, or we can do A equals length times width. Either one is absolutely fine. We're going to be doing a lot of rectangles and stuff here, so we'll just do the LW. All right, A equals. What is my length and width going to be for that square? Gabe, what do you think?
4.5.
Times? Times 4.5. It's a square, so they're the same. All right, calculator gurus, what do we get for our answer there? Trent? 20.25. All right. And let's do shape 2. Area equals. Oh, inches squared. Centimeters squared. Well, y'all are like on it with the measurements. That's so good. Y'all, next year, 7th grade is going to love y'all. They're going to be like, man, y'all are good. Okay. Number 2, what's my formula going to be for that second shape? Second shape, Omar. BH divided by 2, very good. A equals, what is my base and height for that triangle? In the correct order. Trent.
The height is 8 centimeters and the base is 4.5.
Okay, I'll take that since you said the height is 8 and the base is 4.5. So we're going to put the base first, 4.5. My height is 8, and then we're dividing by 2. So what is my area going to be for the triangle, Joseph?
36.
36. Just 36. Very good. All right. Did we divide by 2 on that?
Yes.
No.
I don't think you did. So 30. So we get
18.
18. All right. 18 centimeters squared. All right. So when I add it up, what numbers am I going to add? Someone list my numbers that I'm going to add up for this. What am I going to add up? Seth, help me out. Help me out. Okay, so 18, I'm going to have 4 of them. So I have 18, 18, 18, and 18. What other number do I need to add in there? 20.25. So when I add that up, what am I going to get, Omar? Yes. You can do 18 times 4. That's fine. If you want to do 18 times 4 and then add the 20.25, that's fine. What do I get when I add that up, Ian? 92.25. What? Centimeters squared. Excellent job. Y'all are doing really, really well with this, by the way. Like, I'm kind of impressed by you guys. How do we get the what? 92? Yeah, don't forget that 20.25. All right, last one. How many different shapes do I have here? How many different shapes do we have? Cooper. Right, so how many different shapes are there? All right, are they all different? So how many different shapes? One. We're getting there. So all of these are the exact same, so I'm just going to put a 1. They all match. All right, yes.
Number 3.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't for the number 1 shape.
Mm-hmm.
I got 20.
20. Did you do 4 times 5 or 4.5 times 4.5?
I did 4.5 times 4.
Double check, test it. Put that in your calculator one more time. And if it gives you the same thing, let me see your calculator because someone's probably programmed that calculator to round. Yeah, bring it here. Yep. So see where it says that fix? What that means is it's rounding to a certain place. So we're just going to flip it over, reset, and now. So what I want you to do is every time, but especially, guys, this is just a really good idea to do because sometimes like numbers get hit maybe in your backpack, maybe you are playing with it in warrior time or in the morning. Please, guys, before you take a test or do anything important, always go ahead and reset it just in case you've set something up wrong in your calculator accidentally. Now you got it. Huh? You just slide it. No. There's a button. There's a little bitty button that says reset. All right. Hey, guys. Bring it in. There's a way to do it with the buttons that just, to me, the easier thing is just to hit that little dot on the back. All right. So A equals. Length and width. What are my length and width here? Kyle, I haven't heard from you today. Length times width on number 4. What am I going to use?
14 times 14.
Excellent job. 14 times 14. When I multiply 14 times 14, what am I going to get for that answer? Rachel? 196. And is that my final answer? No. What do I need to do now to that answer? Trent? I would just do times 6. If you want to add it 6 times, you can, but then you make a mistake in your calculator and it gets wrong. What do I get for my answer here, Trent? 1,176 feet squared. And I forgot my feet squared here. Thanks, y'all, for keeping track. And I also forgot to name the figure, so let's do that part. What do I get, Trent? A cube. All right. So, guys, on your homework tonight, name the figure, find the area. That's all you're doing. It's actually pretty short. I would suggest, my suggestion, go ahead and name all your figures so you don't forget that part like I kept doing up here.